All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, another edition of 13 Cards Subject to Change. I am Leroy, and I have a special guest host with me today. My little boy, my son, Evan. Say hi, man.
Hi.
All right, and because of this lovely weather we're having up in Duluth here, the snow and everything, I got Jesse. He's here, but he's on the phone. How you doing, Jesse?
It is one of those interesting things, my friend, where, because we live in Minnesota and I live in a valley in a hill town where...
Why did you choose that?
Home, so.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's just one of those very interesting things. But you know what? For everyone at home, we're going to do a show regardless today because we want to bring you something. We got to bring you something.
Yeah.
So today we want to start with Survivor Series because we kind of owe you guys an apology.
We had some
things kind of went wrong, so
technical difficulties from last week. I'm sorry for that. I was trying to fix it, and it didn't work. So, all right.
Right. Things happen. Things absolutely happen.
Technology and everything.
Why don't we go ahead and we'll actually get your son's opinions on the matches as well. Let's go ahead and go to the Survivor Series.
All right. And first match, it was Shinsuke Nakamura against Damian Priest. Damian Priest getting disqualified because he hit Nakamura with Boo's guitar. Crazy way to end it. I don't know. You think so, Evan?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if they're trying a new thing with him or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works.
So this is a part of that whole. Changing of his character. When he gets angry, he gets insanely vicious and sometimes gets himself disqualified. I need to be absolutely honest. This is probably the second worst card or second worst match on the card as far as how it came out. Just because
I do agree.
They were having a really, really good match, and then that ending is just. Of course, Rick Booz is going to get involved and play guitar. That was not. I just had a big problem with the ending, but it led to a very interesting night of Survivor Series. Leroy, go ahead and take us to the opening match.
All right, opening match is was the Raw and SmackDown's Women's Championship with Becky getting the win, doing a little cheating with the rope.
Right. You know what, Evan? How did you like the match, buddy?
It was pretty good.
Besides the main event, the ending of the main event left a little bit to be desired, but this was probably the best overall match of the night. And also the tag team match was really great. These ladies, they were definitely professional about it, but there was definitely some shooting in here. There was.
Oh, God, yes.
This definitely got over physical really, really quick, but I loved every second of it. And I can just tell by Becky's interview and Charlotte's kind of non-audio interview that they kind of got from her that, both of the women are definitely heartbroken about where their friendship is nowadays. And, I'm actually shocked Vince kind of allowed them to just go out and just try to just get it all out on a pay-per-view match. But you know what? They're professionals and they made it work. They almost Matt Hardy'd and edged themselves here because this was very, very well done by the two ladies. So,
well,
Leroy, go ahead
hopefully this will help in the near future where they'll be able to work better together. So
for sure, I agree.
The next was the Raw versus SmackDown Men's Survivor Series 5-on-5 with Raw and your favorite guy, Seth Rollins, being the sole survivor for Raw and them winning that. I thought it was a great match. Kevin Owens walking out right at the beginning saying "screw you." I don't expect any less from him. At this time with his character.
Yeah, I agree. Excellent character work. Evan, how did you feel about the match, bud?
What do you think of that one? Do you remember?
pretty good.
All right. I think that's just going to be his answer almost the whole time. Pretty good. Pretty good.
You know what? And I agree with that. But it was a lot of fun. The storytelling about both teams throughout the match. Like you brought up the fact that Kevin in this kind of semi-heel run, basically walking out of the team like you guys all thought I was a liar. So guess what? To hell with you guys. To hell with this team. And yet, because Smackdown also has some issues. Raw and Seth Rollins were able to kind of pull out a W here. Though, to be fair, this was the first Survivor Series in a few years they didn't have that counterboard, so apparently they didn't care too much.
Yeah, That's crazy.
So, because if they did the counterboard, I'm pretty sure Fox would not be too happy that they got absolutely owned this year. But yeah, it was. I thought it was a lot of fun. The continuing push of Seth Rollins. I mean, to be fair, he's been doing great work all year.
Oh yeah.
Since his not only his initial heel turn last year after the feud with the Fiend, but now leading up to this and what I believe will be a title win in January. So yeah, we'll see how things shape up.
Next week we're gonna have to talk about that next. We're gonna talk about that next pay-per-view coming up in the last couple of weeks.
And day one, of course, is right at the beginning of the year.
New Year's Day. All right. The next one, as they title it, the Rock 25th Anniversary 20-Man Duel Battle Royal with Omaze dominating and whipping Ricochet out at the end. I mean, I think the kids went to bed before this was done.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't remember. Did you watch that match?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, I think they were getting close. I had to put them to bed and stuff, because I'm a good dad. I mean, they got to go to bed because they got to go to school in the morning.
That's right.
So
yeah, so this to me was not only the worst match on the card, but this probably should have been on the pre-show.
It definitely should have.
Right, and to me, it's only because, the way they end up booking this thing out. If Omaze is going to dominate, this was a way to put over Omaze. And just do like you did, the WrestleMania ones in the previous years, where it was always the pre-show match. You give it 25 minutes, and you do the whole thing where the big man dominates, and the big strong guy wins. It's not a problem. It's not like, by the way, most of these guys don't get a push like right after they win these things. So
no,
it's not
they
like
don't.
That matters too much, but
yeah, with Omaze getting the win and stuff, that aspect of the match was good because he dominated. He's a big guy. He's supposed to dominate like that. I mean, they did a good showcase of that. Other than that, yeah, pre-show should have been on the pre-show. But
I will always agree that a big man, when they get into either a battle royal or a Royal Rumble, should probably start dominating, especially if you believe in that big man. But yeah, so that's kind of how I felt about it. I thought it was fun, but I'm like, this could have been on the pre-show because it was a nothing match, and it kind of did not help the next two matches. But go ahead.
What do you think of Omaze? Do you like him, Evan?
I do like him a lot. Listen, at some point in the next 6 months, they're gonna break him and AJ apart, and he's gonna get the singles push.
Yeah.
Now,
what do you think,
Evan?
Evan?
I would break him and AJ apart, just because I personally don't think he should be getting away from AJ until he completely develops either some sort of promo skill or promo way of doing things, or they get him an actual manager to kind of help him with that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, I like Omaze. He does what he needs to do. It's the only time Bruce Pritchard is still right in pro wrestling, and that is when you can build a big guy a certain way, they can be an attraction. So
that's true.
I have no problem with it.
I know. Evan, you prefer AJ more than Omaze, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Evan's a big AJ fan. You can pull the mic closer to your face. Then you can hear. Then I can hear you better. All right. We're going on. The next match is the tag team match between RK Bro and the Usos, with RK Bro taking the win. And the Usos taking the big L. Oh, geez.
Which, by the way, was not even addressed on SmackDown that week.
No. They just didn't care.
Brilliant.
Oh, yes.
this was absolutely brilliant. Letting kind of Riddle take most of the heat during the match was the right call. Not that Randy can't do a great job of it, but you know, like I say about Randy all the time, he don't like taking the bumps. So,
No, I don't. For him being in that long, I really don't blame him. I mean, he's been going.
Right.
I mean, and I think Evan, you're a fan of RK Bro.
Yeah.
You like Riddle, right?
Yeah.
Because why? Because he goes, bro. Yeah. And I love the Legend Killer.
Bro, and Riddle's just he's great in the ring. I tell people I have yet to see him have a bad match.
I do agree with that. Yeah. Ever since I've seen him, I mean, both on Raw and SmackDown and down in NXT, excellent. I just love it.
He's yet to have a bad match, and then the Usos are great. They've always been great. They needed the New Day to kind of get them a bump in the tag team division, but I mean, they've always been great. So this match was great. The finish, of course, with Randy. Like I said, as soon as he got on top of the rope, and
you knew that was going to happen.
Jay never realized that he kind of blind tagged Riddle. I'm like, he's going to get caught with one
out of midair, and the cell was fun.
What happened as he splashed on the Riddle. So, but I thought this was absolutely phenomenal overall.
All right.
Yeah. So,
and
next, now there's another Survivor Series match. I'll let you go ahead and get to it. And I have a little things to say about our wrestling community.
Yeah,
afterwards.
it is the 5-on-5 women's one that was next. With, let's see here, it was Bianca Belair defying the odds and taking out the Smackdown team. Almost a lot of them there. And Raw getting the win on that one. They didn't really have a tally, but they kind of did unshalantly.
I think
they had, let's see here.
5 or 2 or something like that?
Boom. Yeah. SmackDown had the first run.
Shinsuke won his match.
Shinsuke won by disqualification. Then it was a Raw win on the first 2, 3. The first 4 matches are all Raw.
4-2
and 5.
Raw.
Yeah, they got 2. Yeah.
I thought these women did a great job of trying to get this crowd into this match. Because like I said, from home. From the middle part after the first 2 eliminations through to the end, I thought was absolutely phenomenal. I thought the work that they were having Bianca doing was phenomenal. And by the end, she got the crowd into it. But here's the thing. The next night on Raw, Becky Lynch kind of did cut a heel promo on the crowd. And to be fair, since, by the way, it was mostly the same damn crowd from the night before,
I think so, yeah.
To,
oh, yeah, she definitely did. Yeah.
To wrestling fans everywhere, you have to allow the wrestlers, at first, yes, if you're not into the match at first, okay, but you know it's going to be a long match, okay. Allow them to give themselves a chance to get you into it. Try. Try.
Definitely.
Don't start chanting AEW, which I was happy half the fans shut down.
Yep.
The CM Punk chants, which half the fans booed down. Just give them a chance to get you into it instead of trying to take the damn thing over. We don't need to do that anymore. We're done with that. That's dead. We don't need to do that. Okay, wrestling is supposed to be a fun kind of interactive experience, and trying to take over WWE shows, trust me, is a lot lamer from home when I'm watching than you think it is. So that's kind of my big thing. Overall, the match itself was a lot of fun. It told a really good story, especially on the Raw side.
Yes, it did.
For the most part, just could not get along. Still booked Bianca Belair insanely strong. For that eventual, I keep thinking, I think she's going to get the title back at Mania for Becky. So,
I think that would be a good match for WrestleMania if they're going to do that. Yes.
So like I said, I do like what they're doing with Bianca overall, but then it's the main event.
It is champion versus champion. The big boys, Big E, and the tribal chief. Acknowledge me. Do you acknowledge the tribal king, Eben?
No.
You don't? Oh my God.
Well, Roman
Are
can't
you-
listen to the show because that's not going to be good.
I think Eben is a big E fan in the New Day. Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Eben loves his Big E in the New Day, so I understand. I concur. Jesse acknowledges the tribal chief.
I do.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure yet, but we'll work on it.
I definitely acknowledge Roman Reigns as my tribal chief. I don't know if I acknowledge him as the head of my table, but I do acknowledge him as the Universal Champion.
I do acknowledge that. The head of the table, that's me. At home.
I was going to say, in my home, that is me.
Yeah.
That's just how that goes.
But it was a good match, and Jesse, as you love to say, your favorite saying about this.
It was two big, meaty men slapping the meat for about 15 minutes of slapping the meat. I mean, listen.
Oh, yes.
If there's one thing Vince has always been right about, is that two big meaty men as in your main event, especially when they're really good like this, is just deeply entertaining.
It is. I mean, they putting it. I mean, it didn't make Big E look bad. It did not lose any of his strength and anything that. It was a damn good match between the two of them. No outside interference. The best thing, you know. So I love that.
As I've talked about online with this match before, did I personally feel maybe to protect both guys, you could have had the Usos and the New Day come out, since we all found out later this week that Kofi had been cleared on Sunday. He was at the show, clear to go. Sure, that way, Roman gets a distracted win over Big E, still puts Big E kind of on the same level as Roman. All right, I can mess with that because I still think they're going into a story where, they want to do the Big E Roman story at some point here, one-on-one. But otherwise, I love this match. I thought it was great. Big E he's a very, very good champion. I'm starting to fear it's going to be technically short-lived.
Yeah, it just might be, yes.
Right. And we'll see at day one what happens. But Roman gets a win. Still looks like an a-hole.
That's what he's supposed to be.
and we acknowledge him.
Yeah.
Because he smashed the WWE champion.
He's smashing he smashes everybody.
Yeah, he smashes everybody. He's gonna smash Brock at day one. He's gonna smash.
Maybe not. Oh, I'm pulling for Brock. Oh God, I'd love to see it happen.
I
Brock
think
Lesnar.
Brock's actually going to lose that match to put Roman over. And it's going to be crazy, but Roman's getting kind of a Brock run what Brock got after beating The Undertaker.
Yeah, he is.
But it's crazy because unless you're going to do the Big E thing at this year's Mania, then you're going to, Roman's going to basically run through everybody in a 2-year span. And that's going to be a little harsh. Now they could always do what they wanted to do, and that's the triple threat of Brock, Roman, and Drew at Mania. Because I'm going to go ahead and take Dwayne off the table. It sounds like he's got filming stuff to do about that time of year, so he ain't going to be able to be there.
That would be a pretty impressive. Drew, Brock, and Roman.
I think there's a chance that we get that at Mania this year. But yeah, well, like I said, I guess we'll kind of see what happens.
Yeah, Brock only has so many pay-per-views and matches that he's doing, so we'll find out. And that's going past WrestleMania. So.
Well, tonight, sir, we have War Games, and we're going to go ahead and kind of run through the card and make our predictions. And
it's one of Eben's favorite pay-per-views, War Games.
Yeah.
He loves that War Games.
Pay-per-view, and the two main ones this year are actually pretty darn good.
Yeah, I will go on those last. Both those. There's a couple going on. We got Cameron Grimes against Duke Hudson, a hair versus hair match.
I think they've cut
I
Cameron
think Duke
Grimes'
Hudson.
hair enough, so I think by the end of this thing, Duke Hudson's going to be bald, and it's not really going to matter because he's a character I could care less about.
Oh, you think? Do you think Duke? I'm thinking they might shave Cameron Grimes. I mean, that's my thought. What do you think, Evan? Do you think who's going to lose their hair? Cameron or Duke? That flip of a coin, huh? He's the one, Cameron Grimes, to the moon.
Yeah.
To the moon.
Do you think he's going to win tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You guys got... I'm picking against you guys. I'm going Cameron Grimes is going to lose.
I just...
Which is all right.
He cut his hair. He shaved his beard down really deeply.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going any deeper than that, so I think Duke's going to lose all of his hair, which is fine because he'll be off of TV probably for 2 months anyway. So when he comes back, he'll have a buzz. It looks like he'll have a buzz cut, so it won't matter.
There we go. And then we got Roderick Strong, who is the current NXT Cruiserweight Champion, which they might change or drop that title, against Joe Gacy. Is there going to be a title change?
I believe so.
Okay.
Like I said, I believe this is going to become almost like the European Championship. They'll probably call it Joe. They'll probably have Joe Gacy call it the NXT Open Invitational Championship or something like that.
Yeah, they kind of referenced that this last Wednesday.
Right, I think people thought that a lot of people didn't like that segment, but I'm like I get why they didn't like it. It was a little boring, it was a little tedious, but I'm like they're trying to let you guys know. Like I think Sean's trying to let everyone know, like this is how this is gonna go.
Yeah,
because there are no cruiserweights to have a cruiserweight championship.
No,
anymore.
there's so few of them. I mean, it's just not going to work. So. Changing the title, I think that'll be fine. I kind of agree that I think it'll be a title change, and that will next Tuesday, because I watch it Wednesday. Next Tuesday on NXT, if he wins, they're gonna have a new title for him. I'm guessing something like that. They're gonna probably announce it right then. I would think.
Well, what they could do, I mean, if anything. I don't mind the strap itself being purple. I mean, they'll probably get rid of that. I assume they'll get rid of that.
Yeah, they'll change it.
I would
new name.
Make the plates instead of silver. I would make them. I've only seen white metal a few times, but
yeah,
you can try to make them more white than anything.
There you go. Yeah.
Kind of the purity thing that Joe Gacy's going for, and I think that'll make it work. And then at some point in the next month, you could probably just give it right back to Roderick Strong if you want. But yeah, I understand the whole because they let go of all them damn cruiserweights. I don't even know why they still have 205 Live. That's basically an enhancement show now.
Yeah, it is kind of, yes. All right, the next one we have the NXT Tag Team Championship, and we found out on last Tuesday it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner against Imperium.
Imperium's going to retain because I think Kyle O'Reilly's gone. His contract ends, I believe. So I believe so someone will confirm this at some point, but I believe it's literally at the end of the year.
I believe so. Yes.
His contract is Dunsky.
And then we saw a Von Wagner appearance, a showing on SmackDown.
Right.
So I mean, is that hinting that he's going to get pulled up to SmackDown?
I believe the next time you see, now that Brock has been unsuspended, the next time you see Adam Pearce on SmackDown, you'll see Von Wagner. Yeah,
Bodyguard.
I think this tag team was short-lived. Because I think not only are we going to lose Johnny Gargano out of NXT, and that might more be for being a dad for a while reasons.
I think so.
We're losing Kyle O'Reilly. I think he's gone. I think he's gone.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think so. All right, yeah. And now we're going to start out with the ladies. we got Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, Cora Jade, and Katie Lee against and with. Why did they have Dakota? Oh yeah, against Dakota Kai and Toxic Attraction for the female War Games match, and it's the isn't it the face team has the advantage? If I remember right, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay, yes.
Kaylee Ray won her ladder match, so the face team has the advantage. I believe the face team wins here.
Okay.
One of the tag team champions is going to probably take the pin.
And that'll be fine. I mean, we're not going to have Mandy, the NXT champion, take the pin.
Right.
No.
She's not going to take
Going to keep her
She's
looking
not gonna
strong.
eat one. They're very high on, and she's doing great work, by the way. But they're very high on.
And looking damn good, too. Oh.
They're very, very high on Dakota Kai. So I don't believe neither one of those two women will be eating a pin. So it'll either be Gigi or JC.
Okay, yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's Io. Like I said, if the women's champion takes the pin in this match, I would not be shocked if it's Io Shirai, because I do believe that I think that's the feud they would like to do next before eventual call up. So
and that would be a great feud. I mean,
right.
I love both of them.
A lot of fun. I think this match is going to be a lot of fun.
It will be. Oh yeah, I can't wait for it too. Yes. All right, and then I am so looking forward to the men's match, because it's the old school guys: Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, and LA Knight versus the NXT 2.0 new guys. I mean, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Walker, and Tony D'Angelo. I mean, I really love Braun Breaker. I mean,
yeah,
the young Steiner. Oh my God, I said me and Zach got to meet his uncle, and Zach talked to him and said, "Hey, we love seeing him in there." And he goes, "Yeah, he's so proud of him too." He's gonna win the NXT title. He's gonna have it for a while. They need him on the main roster. I mean,
right.
He is him and Von Wagner. I don't see them being down in NXT that long. I see them up. I mean, it's going to work that way. So what do you think, Evan? Do you think the women? Who's going to win the women's? Do you think we agree with on the women's?
Yeah.
For us and the guys? Do you think the new guys or the old guys?
New guys.
The new guys? The old guys aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. I do think it's the new guys, the 2.0 guys that are going to get the win.
I agree.
I think LA Knight or Johnny Gargano taking the pin. I mean,
right, yeah.
them are the two safe ones.
And by the way, apparently, I've convinced a lot of people.
Uh-oh.
Just because the logic is there. Johnny's gonna probably eat the pin. Because he's gonna be gone. But Johnny's a professional, so he doesn't mind putting people over. And yeah, I actually think they might give Braun Breaker the win here. Because it would be weird if they gave like Grayson Allen the win or Grayson Waller the win, because he's not going to be in their title picture for a minute. And then, I mean, they could give it to Carmelo Hayes, but but and I like Carmelo Hayes, but still. So yeah, but I think Braun Breaker gets the pin over Johnny Gargano, which gets him one more match with Tommaso Ciampa at some point down the line.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And Evan ran out. He wanted to go play some video games, but I thank him so much for hanging out for a little bit doing this, because he's looking for the NXT. I mean, we got a couple things going on before that, so it's great. Yes, I mean, I'm looking forward to War Games. I'm going to do some cookout with Cub Scouts before that and come home and warm up and watch War Games. Why not?
Great show tonight.
Oh, God, I'm going to love it.
Should be a great show. So today, Leroy, we got a couple of birthdays.
Yes, we do. Let's start out with Unfortunately, he's not with us, but today would have been the Dynamite Kid's birthday. He would have been 63 today. So happy is a heavenly birthday to the Dynamite Kid, because there's some damn good matches going on in heaven right now. Oh, my God. That's beyond pay-per-view-esque matches there, man. It's crazy.
Without the Dynamite, like I tell people, without the Dynamite Kid, you don't get a lot of the Chris Benoits and that of the world. You don't get, if anyone's watched Dark Side of the Ring, I mean, his story is such a tragic story. And of course, he only passed away a few years back. But yeah, he was one of the absolute greatest technical wrestlers / high flyers the world had ever seen, and inspired with a lot of what you see in today's pro wrestling. I think he would have loved, had he still had his love for pro wrestling. I think he would have absolutely loved seeing what pro wrestling, the wrestlers themselves, have become today.
Oh yeah, he definitely would have. And then also, and he is still with us, the legendary Larry Zabisco is 70 years old.
Guys, if you
Happy
ever
birthday.
get a chance, if he's coming to your town, go see him. Go find those. Actually, a lot of those matches, Peacock.
They got a lot on there.
On the NWA library for Impact. You can find them on YouTube. You can go find a lot of his matches. You can go find his old matches from All World Japan. I believe the New Japan Pro Wrestling. I believe in JPW 79 still has a site. His stuff. He was, because people were like, "Yo, who is Larry Zabisco? Why is he in the WWE game?" Go look him up.
Yes. Oh my.
Like,
a lot of people just knew him as an announcer and everything, but he was a phenomenal wrestler back in the days. He was.
Pro wrestler.
Oh.
You don't get the Steve Austins. You don't get the $1 Million Men's. You don't get those guys without the great, classy Larry Zabisco. I mean, the man was phenomenal for his time. And I'm happy he's still with us. That's why I was telling people, if he ever comes up on your pro wrestling circuit, he doesn't do a lot of the signings or anything like that anymore, but because he's up there. But if he ever does pop up at a Legends thing, and he costs $200, go meet him. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him. Listen to a story.
I have not myself. I would. Hopefully, I would be able to definitely be able to see him sometime. And speaking of entertainment, if you're in this Las Vegas area, look up Dark Arts Entertainment. They present live pro wrestling monthly at the Super Beast Training Compound location in the Art District of Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's a hybrid of pro wrestling and underground feel. Dark Arts Entertainment shows also includes live band, sideshow entertainment, food, beer, and more. As always, Dark Arts Entertainment is a 420-friendly event. Come see top talent matchups that you won't find in any other promotion in Vegas. And if you want more information, please go on to darkartsvegas.com, or you can grab their official mobile app and from the App Store, either iOS or Android today. And we know a couple of the guys from there that come up here, Super Beast and our favorite Demigod of Death. We love that guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's
great.
I mean, yeah, he's been up here a couple of times. The great show. But definitely, if you guys are in Vegas, definitely Dark Arts Entertainment, Sin City, Las Vegas. Give them a check out. And remember again, darkartsvegas.com, or go to their mobile app at the mobile app store on iOS or Android today and get that. Go check them out. Great fun, and they got stuff online too. So go check it out.
Right. And I mean, listen, especially if you're in Vegas, I mean, you go gamble, maybe go have a little adult entertainment, and then.
Well, that's not in Vegas. You got to go outside Vegas for that one.
Right. Well, it's still there in Vegas.
It's close.
Legal there in Vegas. But and then all of a sudden, oh man, that's right. There's this wrestling show that the the guys at 13 Cards have been telling us about. Go see it. I mean, listen, a lot of that is ingrown, in-house talent that they have built up themselves, and it's fun. And it's a phenomenal show.
That's
if
it.
you're in Vegas, they're having a show. Do not miss it. Make it a part of your package. Make it a part of your experience, guys.
Definitely go say hi to Super Bass.
Yeah.
Go say hi to Funny Bone, the demigod of death.
Sweet human being. He really is.
Great guys, great matches. Oh yeah, and speaking of matches, do we need to talk about and say prayers for Sammy after what happened on Friday?
Poor Sami Zayn.
Oh my God,
who
is he still alive?
Really believed that he was gonna get a triple threat match.
Oh.
Unfortunately, learned on SmackDown this week that Brock always gets what he wants. And
would you say no to him?
And
I would not say no to that guy because he'd crush me. Oh my God. I'm a good Minnesota boy, but I learned. I mean, if the guy his hands are bigger than my head, I'm gonna listen to that guy first. Right. Oh God, poor.
Right.
I feel sorry for. I said a prayer in church for Sammy because he got killed.
To
oh
start
my
the
God.
show, Sammy made the distinct
mistake
bad thing of interrupting Brock Lesnar. Now, unless you're a guy like Mark Henry or The Undertaker
or the head of the table
or
Roman, he can do that. Or Drew.
Drew McIntyre, unless you're a guy who knows for certain that you could probably whoop Brock's ass, you should probably not do that. So he made the first mistake of interrupting Brock as Brock was cutting an opening promo, basically saying, "Hey, you missed me."
And we did.
And he comes out and he's talking about how much he respects Brock and he can't wait to make this match a triple threat. He said, though, I should challenge Roman, and, you should be in my corner because I think you would have a much easier time taking the title for me. Not that I don't have confidence in myself, but, I believe that it would behoove you to be on my side. Basically, Sammy wanting to be champion for at least a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, that would be, it's a nice, some people are only like champion for like 7 seconds. It just happened.
That did happen.
It did.
And so, Brock says, well, why don't you go ahead and challenge him tonight? And I think I can envision Sami Zayn as the Universal Champion. By the way, Brock was brilliant about this the whole night.
Oh, he was. And some people say, well, Brock can't do promo, stuff like that. No, he's gotten better over the years.
Well, Brock was a good promo. Well, Brock's always been especially after his younger days, he was always a good promo. It kind of helped to have Paul there because then Brock felt like an even more unlikable asshole.
Yeah, that is so true.
Because it's just like, oh, now you're also too good to talk to us, huh, Brock? Cool, great, thank you, buddy. But yeah, so later on, they're in the offices. Of course, Adam Pearce is not there for obvious reasons. And Sammy's trying to talk his way out of said match that he just told Brock he would be a part of. Brock pops in and goes, hey, I meant to tell you as well, like, I'm going to be in your corner tonight. Like this is going to be a lot of fun. And basically bullies Sammy into making sure he still has the match. Later on in the night, before we even get the match, before Brock even comes out to be in Sammy's corner, Sammy is like putting over how strong of a god Brock is and how great of a god Brock is and this and that, basically kissing Brock's butt. And and yeah, unfortunately, Brock doesn't buy this. He hits him with some suplexes. He hits him with a couple F5s. He stands him up in the corner. And Roman comes out, hits one spear, puts him in the guillotine. Sammy immediately taps out. And that's the end of the night.
Yep. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. It was. I said a prayer for him, and we forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. The reason why it was just us two, and then my special guest host is because Zach is down south. He avoided the snow, and he's decided to send a message on Facebook because they're going to be on Raw, watching Raw tomorrow night, and he sent because they gave me crap for the show, the room that we stayed at, and she gave a discount for $50. Allison said, "Suck it, Leroy," because for $50 I got this awesome room. I will take the punishment. I am very sorry, Allison. I apologize. Still, I love her. She's awesome. But
I love Allison, but she's kind of becoming she's trying to. It feels like she is trying to become the dictator of 13 cards. And
oh no, we can't stand that. No. Well,
I'm a little fearful of that.
For going out to host shows where we actually, one of these times when we go to a show, it's gonna be the three of us bunking in the same place. Then I need a bigger room. Yeah, there's three of us because I love both you guys, but I'm not sleeping in the same bed with either one of you guys. Jesse, you're a little bit. Jesse, your big size. I don't know if I'd fit.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure Zach would be stuck on the floor because I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well,
I'm a pretty big guy.
He's young. I got a bad back, so I need a bed. So yeah, I'd throw him on the floor. I'd get him a roll. I'd get a rollout.
I don't know how Zach's gonna do that. Is he gonna sleep at my feet? Yeah, he's gonna be screwed at that point.
We'll get a rollout. We'll get a rollout bed for him. So yeah, next weekend we are gonna have his lovely review of the show, and I'm gonna see how many times I see him on TV. So everybody, if you're looking, look for
I always watch
the powder
Raw,
blue
so
shirt.
Fun.
Darren Corbin's powder blue shirt. He said he's going to wear it. I hope he is. It makes him so easy to find.
Right. So here's the thing. Speaking of Raw, so the ratings came out.
Yes. How? I'm curious. I'm always curious to see how they do because AEW is just failing.
I'll give the overall numbers, and then we can kind of discuss quick.
Yeah.
So Raw did 1.5, 1.6.
Okay. Yeah.
1.63. So they actually fell about 5%, but they often don't do. They've never, even when their greater days, they never did gangbusters during Monday Night Football or football season. So that's not a shock at all. NXT gets another 6% boost and is getting very, very close to 750,000 a week. NXT 2.0.
As I'm telling everybody, I love the show. I really like what they have done, and it's starting to grow on people. It's good. I mean, looking.
It's really, like I said, and that's why I originally said when me, you, and Zach were talking about it on the show, we have to almost give it a month to kind of see what they're trying to get to, because rebooting this thing like this, it's first of all was going to draw a lot of bad ire.
Yeah.
But also the fact that, like, they were going to promote all this young talent, which is not a problem, but no one knows who the hell this talent is. So for that reason alone, you almost had to give this a month or two just to see how this was going to kind of pan itself out. And Sean has worked his magic with whatever Vince kind of wants overall for the show, and it's doing pretty well. By the way, Triple H is finally back at the offices and stuff like that.
Oh, he is back yet? Okay, I haven't heard if he was back yet, but I knew it would be soon.
So apparently the rumor about, and I'm guessing we'll get some confirmation this week, is that Triple H is back working with talent again and being a part of the shows again. So that's good news that he, which I think the heart attack was about a month ago. So the fact that he's back, like I said, that's good news that he's kind
It
of
is,
being
yeah.
able to get back to work a
I'm
little bit.
so glad he is healthy.
Right,
Probably never
right.
gonna wrestle anymore, but hey, he's back working behind the scenes and doing stuff like that. I'm very happy.
Right. So, because he's not going to get in the ring anymore. That's done.
No. So, how did our favorite second wrestling show AEW do this week?
AEW dropped 5% and only did 833,000.
Wow. So, Cody dropping somebody himself through a table that's on fire and he stayed on fire didn't help?
Oh, I'm going to get to that.
I watched that. Oh my God! Wow. Yeah.
And like I said, trust me, I'm going to get to that because not only, I'm going to give him praise for it because it's a hell of a spot to do. But then I feel like I have some constructive criticisms about that one.
I do a little bit myself. Yes.
And then Smackdown still under 2 million.
Okay.
But to be fair, once again, it was going against college football, college basketball, NFL stuff. Only actually did 1.92.
Okay, that's
so,
still good.
It's dropped a couple. It's still dropped a little bit, but it's still around that 2 million mark every week. So yeah. But
did Rampage? Did they hit the basement yet?
Oh God, Rampage is now officially under 500,000 this week.
God.
So
wow.
Let's start with that as we get into our AEW review.
I
want to start with that, guys.
What was Rampage at? What was their numbers at?
I believe Rampage was at 475 something, 475,000 something. So yeah, it's once again it is deeply under. It's now under NXT. Okay.
It's dropping every single. It has dropped every single week, right? Since CM Punk's showing.
Right.
That's just. It's going to be like 300,000 next Friday. It might be.
So let me get into this.
All right.
First of all, it's on a shit night. It's not only on a bad night. It's on a shit time because people have already watched Smackdown, okay? And I know there's the argument about Smackdown and whether or not, it was a good show to some people. I'm not even going to get into that fucking debate again.
Oh, the number of matches, time matches and stuff like that? Yeah.
Which, by the way, for anyone who has that argument, in wrestling is subjective, don't get me wrong. We're all going to feel a certain way about it, just like movies, just like music. But that is such a bad argument to have.
Yes, definitely.
Because they've always done that. Some shows, some Raw, some SmackDowns are going to have more wrestling than others. They just are.
Yeah.
So the argument doesn't even make any damn sense that this week on SmackDown they had, I think it was 20 minutes of wrestling. I've watched old school Raws for 2 hours that maybe had 15 minutes of actual wrestling. And yet those are shows where it was Steve Austin doing stuff backstage and people were entertained by the segments. It's to me, it's just a bad argument. Well, nowadays you should have more wrestling in your wrestling show. Not really.
Yeah,
Not really. Impact is one of the best shows that you can watch online, and sometimes it's actually only like 22 minutes of actual wrestling. But the segments are so damn entertaining that you don't care. I don't know. To me, it's just a bad argument.
Well, it's entertainment. If you're going to have a lot of matches and a lot of wrestling, it's going to be on the pay-per-view. And generally, it always is. And
by the way, people are complaining about, how much wrestling is on the show all of a sudden. Last week's Raw had an hour and, I think it was an hour and 20 minutes of wrestling, something like that. And people still didn't like the show. So I don't know.
It wasn't a bad show.
I don't know what you want. Basically, is what I'm saying.
They want perfection.
Do you know what you want?
I know what I like, and I'm enjoying both Monday and Friday and Tuesday, Wednesday sometimes.
I I will openly say, with an honest heart, I will openly say that Raw for me recently has been better because Raw in the past has been very, very hard to sit through.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It has been so hard to sit through for 3 hours. And hell, even like I've actually now watched it a couple times without the commercials. And while it's a better viewing experience without the commercials, because that makes the show feel like it's dragging on, especially when the show isn't like bad, but it's just boring.
Yeah, I love Hulu because then I get my edited version.
But I was gonna say, because here's the thing on that for me is that yeah, it's easier to sit through now because it's only like an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 45 minutes or something like that, something like that.
It's
on
about
Hulu.
Hulu. It's usually about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours
Yeah,
always.
of course they edit out the commercials and stuff like that, so it's a better viewing experience.
Yeah, I have my Hulu commercials already in there because I get that one, so it's like I get that. So I mean, I still get the 30 seconds every once in a while, but
Right.
it's boom, straight up.
But it's still kind of a boring show.
Sometimes,
but
yes.
It's tolerable.
Yes.
But for me, most of the time it's tolerable. There's always some entertaining segments, some really, really bad ones, you know. But to complain because SmackDown only had 20 minutes of wrestling, it's like, yeah, but did the segments entertain you? Because if they did, then this is a terrible argument. It just is.
It is. Yes, it is totally.
It's like going to a movie that you knew was a comedy, and you're mad because there was only probably like 40 minutes of good comedy in it. Yeah, but did you laugh? If you laughed and you enjoyed yourself, to me that's a terrible critique to have. Because if you enjoyed yourself, then that's all that matters. That's what you're supposed to do, is enjoy yourself. Anyway,
I know that's true. Yes. To
get into AEW, so this week's Dynamite was actually a mostly good show. By the way, I love the Miro segments. Miro does these promos now. Anytime he loses, about like he basically kind of clicks up the character every now and then.
So does he blame?
Insanely entertaining.
Does he blame anal for his losses?
No.
I said that.
No.
You're welcome.
No, he doesn't.
You're welcome, everybody, for that.
But no, it's actually very entertaining stuff. I actually recommend it. They always put the promos out like 4 days later, which is stupid. Put them out same day. Like WWE does the right thing. You put it out same day, so it's the first thing people talk about. It's just that's how you should do it. But this main event, the main event to me was a banger. It was Andrade versus Cody Rhodes in an Atlanta street fight. By the way, funny because in his own hometown he still gets half booed. Pretty damn badly.
It is bad, yes.
But at least in his hometown you can actually hear cheers. He's very Roman 2015 right now, 2016.
Yeah, he is.
But the match itself I thought was a banger.
Yeah, no, I do agree I saw highlights and everything. I do agree the match was good. I wasn't
to this stupid fucking ending.
Yeah.
So his fucking wife comes out of nowhere. By the way, she gets majorly booed.
Oh yeah.
Even the family crowd there doesn't want to see her.
Yeah.
She comes out. She lights a table on fire because they were trying to do a spot where he was originally going to superplex him through a table. Andrade gets out of it. Cody kind of smacks the hell out of Andrade. They go back to the top rope. She comes out of nowhere with like a hoodie on and all that. Takes the hoodie down. Lights the damn table on fire. He hits a reverse vertical suplex. To be fair, protecting Andrade's face.
Yeah.
But not his chest, unfortunately. Hits. Hits the inverted suplex, top rope suplex, through the table for the win.
I think the one thing that I had a problem with that is Brandy putting. It looked like she put 3 inches of lighter fluid on the table. I think she put
she
more than
covered
she
that
should
thing
have. She
in fluid.
she did not need to do so much.
Here's the thing. Big thing number one. I give them kudos for the spot because that's not an easy spot.
No, it's not. No.
Even if you put on the flame retardant, you're gonna feel pain. You're going to feel pain. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's going to happen.
But I honestly think she should have not put as much, and that would have helped, because Cody was on fire slightly when he was pinning. The ref had to put him out. If she would not have put as much on there, the minute they hit, because as people, I don't know if people realize, no, if fire to keep going, it needs oxygen. Well, when they slam down there and they hit it, their bodies get rid of all the flame and puts everything out, because that's the safest and best way to do it. Is boom, it's out. You don't have to worry about it starting the ring on fire or anything like that. I mean, that's why it's dangerous being inside the ring and doing it, other than outside, And they had a fire extinguisher. I'm glad the ref, was patting them down, boom, and they ended it quick. But yeah, I mean, for safety, too much lighter fluid. I mean, good spot, too much lighter fluid. Too much.
Besides the fact that, by the way, you're correct about all that. It just didn't make any sense for the match. So for people who don't know, besides Atishi Onita, who used to use this spot back in the day, which, by the way, made sense because they were a hardcore wrestling promotion. So seeing fire in their matches it was all spectacle. It was never like, so you always knew that was a very, very strong possibility, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When the Dudleys did it, it was a part of the story in ECW because that was a part of the family story. The table, the stories they would tell, the weird stories they would tell, by the way.
Yes.
Anytime I go back and watch those old promos, I'm like, what the hell is Paul letting them talk about?
Anything and everything. Oh, it worked.
Right. So, okay. So, makes sense. In GCW with Nick Gage, it makes sense because that's the character he's portraying. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
in this match, it
makes
zero
no sense.
Besides to have a really awesome into a match, which it did. Here's my critique. My
how much of a pop did it get?
Major pop.
Okay.
Major pop. Because it's a cool ass spot.
Yeah.
Only time you'll see it in WWE and these kind of things is like, that's why in WWE you'll see them wear clothes during these kind of matches, and like it seems like their arms and backs are more glistening because Vince overdoes the fire retardant because he wants to make sure they don't get hurt. Like, we can do the spectacle, but no one should get hurt.
Mm-hmm. That's what they do with the Fiend, and everybody was not happy about that one.
The Fiend and Randy Orton, it made sense because the Fiend is a demon, so it made sense.
Yes, and that worked, but people were not happy of what. The dummy that was laying there. I mean, they were protecting everybody.
That buck-tooth idiot Kevin Dunn shot it. That was the problem. That was it to me.
Yeah.
Here's the big thing. The big criticism for me. Why? This wasn't necessary.
No.
Okay, this is all going to lead back to Malachi Black at some point, any freaking way. What was the point of it? And then, of course, at the end of the match, both guys get a standing ovation, and they should, by the way. I don't care what promotion this is. Anytime people do that spot for you, loser, winner, you should give them a standing ovation because that's a dangerous ass spot. And as it was talked about in Dark Side of the Ring, with of course Sabu's uncle, who we got the chance to meet.
Yep.
It can go horribly wrong. Horribly wrong, and almost kill you. So anytime they make it through the spot, you give them credit, right?
Oh, you definitely. I mean, the table did not need to be lit on fire. He could have ended it with just a simple table hit, boom,
right,
and being done.
But to me, it just awesome spot. absolutely awesome spot. But to me, it was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Totally.
it was beyond unnecessary. They didn't need to do it. But overall, I actually did not have a problem with Dynamite for the most part. Besides the lack of women's segments, actually, because to me the best match of the night wasn't even the main event. The best match of the night was the quarterfinals match between Chris Statlander and Ruby. I almost called her Ruby Riott again. Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho, yeah.
Was a phenomenal match. Might have been the best match I've seen this. I'm trying to think because I've also gone back to watching New Japan stuff. Yes, it was the best match I've seen this week. It was insanely great. Those two women have great chemistry, told an excellent story. To give AEW a ton of credit, they let the damn match breathe. This was phenomenal front to back. I can't go super hard on the lack of women's segments this week for them because that match was so good that I will forgive their normal sins.
Okay, all right.
With their women's division,
we'll give them a week off for that. Definitely.
Yeah, I got to give them a break this week because that match. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, go find it. Hell, I think even Jim Cornette praised it. It was so damn great.
And I have not listened to Jim on that, so I'll hopefully do it.
I'm like, dude, I don't know how anyone can criticize this match. It from top to bottom stole the show. I hope to see those two women go at it again at some point. It was so good.
There was good, yeah. I mean,
and that's the one thing that to me AEW gets over WWE sometimes is that you don't have to do the constant replays because WWE is very guilty of doing like constant rematches all the time to tell their stories. Which, by the way, they only started that in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I know people say WWE have always done it. They actually haven't. They've only started that in the last 4 to 5 years.
Yeah. Well, definitely, it's like, hey, they put a little heat in that end of the match, but you know what? They didn't need it. But if somebody out there needs a little heat in their food, we love to sponsor by Haitian Al Sands.
Al Sands and his Haitian Temptation. Not only hot sauce, but the Haitian heat barbecue sauce, which, by the way, is insanely flavorful.
Have you got that?
You go on. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leroy.
Have you got your order yet for that?
I have not picked up my order of the barbecue sauce yet.
Okay.
I actually need to reach out to him today so I can go pick that up. But because he gave me a sampler of it, and oh my goodness, the flavor! Cooking with it adds such a kick to whatever you add it to, and I added it to my baked chicken. And it was so good.
As we like to say, we love to put that shit on everything.
Listen, I literally put that hot sauce. I put that shit on everything. Don't mean to steal from Frank's, but for everyone listening, go to his Facebook, Al Sands Haitian Heat. He has put up the information about the barbecue sauce. Yes, he does fall behind because they make that themselves, by the way, guys. They get the ingredients themselves. He is trying to, they're working on different ways to push it out even faster than what they do.
And he makes it.
Go on to the Facebook, at least try to get your order in. And I think they've actually started doing an email thing possibly. So go onto the Facebook and go ahead, put in your order. They'll send you the information of when they're going to get it to you. You will not regret it.
And I'm proud to say it's
does a phenomenal job with not only the hot sauce, but the barbecue sauce. It is all natural ingredients. Remember, he is a boxer, so there's certain things he cannot have in his body because, it tests as, either illegal or stuff like that. So for athletes, it's good for them. And and say if you're on a diet right now and you're like, man, I want a good hot sauce or barbecue sauce that isn't gonna mess with my calorie count or all that, go get the Al Sands hot sauce or the barbecue sauce. It is 1,000% worth it. By the way, the prices are very, very low.
Oh, yes, they are.
For all the work that they put in.
But definitely, it's coming around Christmas time of the season.
Get
It
a
is
gift.
locally.
Get it as a gift for someone.
Great
You're
gift,
absolutely right.
great
Get
gift
it as a
idea.
for someone.
Support your local small business, because this is a local small business up here in northern Minnesota. I don't know if he's doing it in Duluth or at Floodwood. He does it up here. Such a great product, such a great guy. Reach out, get some. My kids love it. It is, the mild sauces are even good enough for kids to try, because my kids will eat it. And I love me some hot stuff. Great flavor, as Zach says when he's here. Great flavor. It stays with you a little bit. It gets in your mouth. Oh, so good. Put it on anything.
The heat even the strongest heated one, it kicks your butt for maybe a minute or two, but then you start to taste the pure flavor.
Yes.
And of course, a lot of peppers actually technically have a sweet flavor to them when you can get away from the seeding. And you actually taste that flavoring in the hot sauces. And in the barbecue sauce, you can taste the pure tang sweetness of the barbecue chip.
Definitely.
Like I said, go to Al Sands Haitian Heat on Facebook. They are still working on a couple of the online stores. They really are trying to get that up by the end of the year. So as soon as we get an update, we will let you guys know.
And definitely, if you have to,
it's definitely worth putting in your order. We put that shit on everything.
And then if you have to go out for a lovely dinner with the in-laws this Christmas, hey, if you need to, put that stuff on there. If the stuff ain't tasting that good, it might taste better.
Correct. It's Al does Al and his team do a wonderful job with the hot sauce and the barbecue sauce. It's absolutely worth it, guys. Absolutely. And you know what? Let's end on another positive note for today's show.
Okay.
Jim Ross is doing better. So it was found out that Jim Ross, he found out that he had skin cancer. They had to do a couple of surgeries on him to remove some of the tags. He is doing okay. It will be a slow process, of course, but he is doing all right. He's hoping, because Jim Ross is a fighter, he's actually hoping to get back by their show in January. Their big show, Winter, is coming in January. Tony Khan has put out a statement saying, listen, we have told Jim, you don't have to come back until March or April if you want to. We'll make things work. But Jim has said, recovery is going well, treatments are going well, so he's doing all right, which is great news. You know what? And I'll go ahead and put this out there for not just for young men, but for older men as well, because I'm 32. If you can get a cancer screening, whether it be testicular or any kind of cancer screening, get it. We live in such a COVID news world that some of these other things have been forgotten about, and a lot of people I know recently have unfortunately passed away from just normal things like either heart attacks or blood clots and things of that nature. So say if you go into the ER because you sprained your ankle or anything, most of the time, I don't know if your state or your country, you would have to check, because I know we have a lot of listeners in Canada. You would have to check, but if you can get a screening and it doesn't cost you any extra on your healthcare bill, get a screening. And this is not because, should we talk about breast cancer and those things? Yes, but women are usually more apt to make sure that they get their screenings when they need to.
Yeah, us guys we're really
smart.
bad at men are really bad at going to the doctor, but definitely
we
yes.
don't like going to the doctor, and listen, I get it.
We're too damn tough. That's why, damn it.
But go get your screenings, because including with Jim Ross, what's nice is when they can find it, and if they can find it early enough, your survival rate goes up, and you can get back to a healthy life.
Yes,
so that's why
definitely.
I'm talking about this. Go get your screenings. I know when I have my doctor's appointment very soon here, I'm supposed to be getting a couple of screenings myself. I've already put that into place. Get your screenings. You never know what's going on with your body. There's
That is
nothing
true.
wrong with just getting checked out.
Yeah, I mean, as I go back on my family history and I learn about that, and then you, Jesse, your family history, and then being a black gentleman, there is some stuff that goes on, medical conditions that just come up more in black men lately, so
high
stuff like
blood
that.
pressure
So
runs
yeah,
rampant among the black community. So I'm always, as I told you guys when I first started the show, I did find out about when I was 30, because it was never an issue for me until I was about 30.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't think of it at all. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey man, you're getting to dangerous levels here, and even diabetically, you're getting something else that runs in the black community. You're getting to dangerous levels here." So I've actually changed my diet quite a bit in the last 2 years. The screenings help. It helps to know. That way, I don't work out all the time, even though I probably should.
I'm in the same boat, man. I'm in the same boat.
Right. But it's just one of those things. Just knowing sometimes you can start a slow at least changing your eating diets, as my old doctor used to tell me, even when you're not working out all the time, helps. Because if you can change your eating diets to be healthier, even if you're not working out all the time, your body will fight off certain things when it knows it's being taken care of. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I try to do that myself too. So yeah,
everyone get your screenings, women including. But I wanted to make sure I got that message out to the guys that they're talking about JR, because it's better to find out right away. It's better to find out right away than all of a sudden you have a heart attack and you're not with your family, you're not with us anymore. So
especially this time of the year, the holiday season.
Like that.
Yes, definitely. All right, so we had a good show, a little shorter than our normal one because we're so busy, and this is kind of a different Sunday. I don't know, but I will get it up.
It's been a weirder Sunday. I agree.
But that's all right. I think it's a great show. We'll have it up, and I said I want to apologize to everybody that didn't have it up last week. Some technical issues. Next Sunday, and this will be up on Monday. I believe we're gonna have all three of us back again doing this.
Sir.
We're gonna talk about NXT Wargames and a few other things. We got some AEW stuff to talk about. I think. Ooh, we'll have fun with Zach on that.
I got a couple of big things coming up this week, so
definitely.
I'm about to say I didn't even touch on the Daniel Bryan stuff, all the great work he's been doing as a heel down there now. So
we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
I don't know if Zach will have praise.
We'll see.
We'll get through AEW this week before I say I'll have praise for it.
And we'll love to get that lovely review of Zach's experience down at another. He went on Smackdown, and now he's seen a Raw show with Allison there, and I would love to see and hear from him whatever his experience and everything. So I'd say thanks, everybody, for listening to us. We appreciate it, keeping us in that top 5 at Podomatic.com. But make sure, check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. Our lovely
Radio, Spotify. Check us out on all streaming platforms.
And honest to God, you do a search for 13 cards, it pops up. So definitely do that. Keep us looking. Keep listening to us. We love you guys, and we're going to hopefully work on some more interactive stuff with everybody so we can get questions, stuff like that. So that is in the near future. So everybody, be safe out there. Have a good holiday season. And if you're up anywhere north where it's snowing like this, be out there, drive safe, and make it home to everybody. We will catch you all guys next week.